Good morning. Today we are having the talent management module training session. Actually, I hope to explain you each and every feature in the module. So it's like a not a high level demonstration. We are going to have a detailed session, right? So before moving to the application, I would like to show you some slides and give a briefing about the scope, the what is the talent management process and how we cater the requirement through this module, right? This is just a definition taken from the web. It's like the purpose of the process is to pick the right person and place that person in the right place at the right time, right? We'll see how we can cater this requirement through this module. Before going to the detail of the product, I use this slide to explain you about the integration. What are the dependencies uh, with other modules, right? Actually, performance management is the key module that you have to have with this module suite, right? To perform a talent cycle perfectly, you have to have at least one completed performance evaluation cycle. You have to complete the competency assessment area in that performance management module. So it has the highly dependency with the performance management module. Right? Then you have to have the eligibility configurator. We use we create some eligibility rules within the module. So you have to have a eligibility configurator module and the employee information manager module and the self-service portal. Yeah, and the self-service portal. In addition to that, we use the job scheduler module to generate alerts. So those are the and in addition to that, advanced security module to control the security and the access to control the accessibility to the menu items of the module. So these are the module you have to have to perform a talent cycle. Okay. Then before moving to the product, I want to show you one concept which we use within the module. It's a 9-box grid matrix. So there may be other several metrics in this domain, but the product caters only to talent 9-box grid model. So this is the main matrix we use. Based on that, we do other processes in the system, right? It's I'll explain. You can see the horizontal axis is the performance, and the vertical axis is the potential. So what we do is at the end of the talent assessment process, we place employees within the 9-box grid, right? Suppose if there is a employee who has high performance level and high potential level, he will be placed in the future leader category, right? Likewise, we can categorize employees. Then yeah, you can find the low performing, low potential employees under underperformer box. Likewise, we are going to rate employees' performance and potential, and we place those employees within this 9-box grid. This is the main metrics we use within the module, right? Then before moving to the application area, I would like to explain the concept through this flow chart, right? Then you can get a better understanding how this module works, then integration within the component within that module, right? Then actually, as similar to other modules, the we have to do some administrative definitions and we have to create the talent cycle. It's similar to the performance assessment cycle. So we have to do all those definition, and we have to create this the talent cycle. Then we can assign leadership candidates. Actually, in the talent management domain, the employees whom we pick for the assessment, we identify them as leadership candidates, because the main objective is the, we are going to grow those employees to the uh, to replace critical positions in the organization. So we call them as leadership candidates, right? We have to, so we have to select those leadership candidates to the cycle, and we have to assign reviewers to, they are the people who are doing the assessment of those candidates. This is the administration area. I'll explain in the application what are the features of those pages. Then the next process is we enable, we allow the selected leadership candidates to enter their career preference details into the system. This is the main, the main, the first step of the process. Then the leadership candidates then can enter their career preferences before starting the evaluation. We use the career center area to capture those details. Then we enable the talent assessment for the reviewers. Then reviewers can assess the leadership candidates, their performance and potential level. Then we, at the end of the talent assessment process, we can find the organization talent pool. I have explained you what is the 9-box grid. Here, then at the end of the talent assessment process, we can get the completed 9-box grid for the organization. Right? Then we have another section here. It's a succession planning. So in the what we do is, now at the end of the talent assessment process, we can identify who are the future leaders, who are the high potential employees, who are the high performing employees. Likewise, we can identify the key talents of the organization. Then we can assign, we can build the organization succession plan and leadership pipeline. uh, these candidates can be assigned to those critical position as successors, right? So there is another component within the module to handle succession planning. So we use the output of the 9-box grid to do the succession planning. Then there's another area, individual development plan. So we can assign, we can improve the identified employees using development plan area. So we use 9-box grid, the result of the 9-box grid to plan the development of the identified leadership candidate. Right? This is the overall picture of the module and the integration. I think you now you have a high level understanding about the module. Are there any questions regarding this flow? Are you okay with this process? Right? Then we can go to the application area, and we can check what are the features. We have to log into the system as an administrator to do all the configuration. Uh, there are some administrative definition things. I think we can discuss later these definitions. Then we can start the talent cycle creation process. The first option is define talent review cycle. So the admin can create the talent assessment cycle here. uh, I think you have an idea about the performance management. Similar to that, we create the cycle. So we can uh, have a name and description, and you can add, start and end dates a period for the assessment. Then we can you can mark the cutoff date for the career center. So by that date, the leadership candidate have to complete the career center details. Then otherwise it will get frozen. So before that date, the leadership candidate has to complete. Then we can maintain initial review cutoff date, a cutoff date for the initial reviewer. So we can capture that option, and you can select a eligibility group here. Suppose you want to pick a particular we we are focusing middle level managers. So you want to pick all the middle level managers who has experience more than 10 years. Likewise, you can set a eligibility rule here. The eligibility group can be defined in the eligibility module, and you can select the relevant eligibility module here, and then the when assigning candidates, you can use this eligibility rule and select pick candidates for the cycle. So it's a additional option here. Then you can activate the cycle. Once you activate, it will be enabled for the candidates and the reviewers. Otherwise, the cycle will not be shown to those participants. Then the next step of menu item is select leadership candidates. Using this form, you can assign candidates to the cycle. Select required cycle from this. Here you can add by eligibility option. Once you click on this, it will search employees based on the eligibility rule. Uh, in addition to that, you can use the candidate pool. It means the candidates who have been already assigned to the cycle can be seen through this option. And then if you want to pick candidates those who have not been selected for any talent cycle, you can use this option. Then you can pick required employees to this talent cycle. So these are the main options here. I have already assigned 2 candidates for this cycle, Divya and Keith. So this is the candidate selection option.
Hello.
Then the next one is configure
Hello.
reviewer.
Hello.
Here what we do is we assign
Hello.
reviewers for the selected candidates. They are the people who are doing the initial assessment.
Hello. Can you hear me?
So the options are similar to the performance management module. There are several options. You can assign the head of department as the reviewer or immediate supervisor, or you can replace whatever there is a change in the if the immediate supervisor has changed, you can replace that new You can replace the old
Hello.
supervisor with the
Hello.
new assignment, and you
Hello.
can individually assign reviewers for the candidate,
Harsh. Harsh, hold
Hello.
on.
and
Harsh, hold on. Harsh.
the option to view the candidates.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Asita? Asita, are you there? Hansini, are you there?
Yeah, I'll go into the detail.
Raised.
Yes.
Not sure if they're able to hear us, but we've just messaged Jana also saying there is a query from hers.
Ah.
I assume they're all together because Jana had sent a message saying they'll be sending a new link earlier.
We will see how we can use this option. Once you click on this option, then you can go to the next area. Then you can the system will show you uh, the head of
Paresh sir,
department
this person is just
and
giving the overview of the
candidate.
module. We
Then if
don't
you
want
want to
overview.
assign the reviewers based on that, like
I get it, Harsh. I am trying to explain the same thing to them.
the
I'll speak
sign-in
with them.
option.
Just a minute.
In addition to that, you can view the already assigned combination candidates assigned to the reviewers. I have already assigned 2 candidates here, so you can view those candidates here. If there's a candidate without a reviewer, you can
Hey,
view that
Sushant,
candidate
Jana,
through this link.
hello.
Jana,
Then you can assign
Jana,
required candidate.
I think they've
Jana, are you
put
there?
the speaker on
Using this
mute
employee
and they're
search.
just using the mic. Paresh.
I think
Then
the same there. I think the same with the video file which is playing.
the next option is talent assessment competencies. Here, what we are going to do is we want to assess particular set of competencies within the talent assessment process. You can select competencies using this form. Suppose in the performance management module, uh, in the competency assessment area, the employee assess based on the designation, the competency profile of the designation. Suppose if you want to assess some set of leadership candidates from the employees, you can assign specific competencies to the talent cycle and do the assessment, right? So we use this form to uh, assign those specific competencies to the talent cycle. Here you can select a cycle here, and you can tick required competencies and save. Then those details, the competencies will be available against the candidate. If we want to add specific competency against the particular employee, leadership candidate, you can use this option. Then you can select required employee and assign uh, competencies. We use this option. Suppose there is a manager or leadership candidate who has a specific uh, skill. So we want to rate that skill. So we can assign that specific skill for that employee and enable the assessment during the cycle. So this is the competency. So this is the objective of this assigning competencies to the talent cycle. Then right now we can view the career center, and we can discuss what are the features available for the uh, leadership candidates. Right. Up to now, are there any queries or unclear areas? To view the details available in the career center, we can log into the system as a leadership candidate. Keith is one of leadership candidate we have assigned to the cycle. So we can log into the system as Keith in the self-service. Oh. My hour. Oh. Kalau katakan mau, kalau mau. Dia. Ini berapa? Magi mau cukup. Oh, oh. Right. Tinanong check the one. Right. Then in the self-service portal under talent management, the employee can view the career center section. As I explained you, we are in the career center section. We enable this for the leadership candidate who have assigned for the cycle. So leadership candidate can log into the system and enter their career preferences. So we'll see how we can use this section. Under talents career center, once you access this form, it has 3 tabs. In the first tab is the resume tab. The candidate can view the details already available in the employee information manager module. The main objective is the candidate can verify his already available details. Up-to-date details are available in the system. Then he can verify the qualifications and the work experience and the ELC history details and the expertise profile details. If there is the candidate need to do any modification to the those details, he or she can access the self-service module and update relevant details. Then the whatever updated details will be available for the reviewers. Otherwise, he can there's no place to verify those details. So we provide this resume area to verify the resume details available in the system. Then the next tab is career path. Here the employee can view the progression path, his or her progression path in the organization. Actually, I have shown you some admin. There are some admin forms. Later, we can discuss those admin forms. Those admin forms, we create the progression path of each designation. Let me to show you some. Here, I have used a diagram to explain about the progression path of the organization. Actually, we have to do this definition prior doing the assessment. Later, we can discuss this definition. Suppose you are a software engineer, developer, then you have to a progression path. You join to the company as a trainee software engineer. Then your next designation would be associate software engineer. Then the next one is software engineer. Likewise, then senior software and then you can become a development lead. Likewise, there is a progression path. So each designation we have to create this progression path. Then once you create that progression path, the progression path will be displayed here. Then the highlighted one is your current designation, and it shows the competency matchup with your current designation. We uh, we calculate the competency matchup based on the employee's competency level and the competency profile of the designation. We compare employee employee competency level with the designation profile, and we calculate a competency matchup. So in this, the key is holding this designation, senior vice president of agriculture and livestock. His current matchup is 52%. Then his next designation would be president agriculture and livestock, but he has to the competency matchup is 48%. So we it's like this. We take particular employees' competencies in the performance management module. Within the competency assessment, we rate particular employees' competencies, right? Then we can find a rating against particular competency, right? In the performance management module, job profile area, competency profile area, we create for each designation we create competency profile. It has set of competencies and required level. So we compare that competency profile of the designation with the employee's actual competencies. Then we can find what are the competency gap. Yeah. No. Actually, if we disable the gap field, there's no impact to the values. No, we hide the just the label. So, however, we have details. So we use those competency values, actual competencies and expectation. Then we compare those profiles and calculate this value. Right? Yeah. Always it check the latest ratings saved against the employee. It can be updated through the performance cycle, or within the talent module we have competency assessment option. So at the end of the talent management process, we update the competency ratings against the employee. Then the competency, we call it as competency library. So competency library can be updated through the performance assessment or talent management module. Right? This is how we do the competency comparison. Then here it shows an overview about the designation. So, okay. I'll show you where we define the competency profile in the uh, in the performance management module. There is a under administrative menu group, you can find the proficiency profile. This is the in this form we create the proficiency profile for each designation. Suppose the particular employees the designation is chairman. You can specify. You can it shows the competencies that the chairman should have, and you can specify the competency proficiency level here. Likewise, we can create the competency proficiency profile for each designation. Based on that, in the performance management module, the employee is evaluated against this profile. So we use this proficiency profile and employees' actual competencies and do the comparison. Right here, you can view the under requirement summary area. We use the uh, job description which we created in the employee information manager module. Under desirable area, you can view the experience and qualifications which you have specified in the job specification JD area in the job description area in the employee information manager module. Here the under actual section, it shows the employees actual experience levels and qualifications. Then we provide this option for the candidate, then he can get an idea how what are the competence experience gaps and qualification gaps for this designation, right? So I'll show you where we define the under job description area. You can this is a place where we define the qualifications and work experience based on the designation. uh, for each designation we can add qualification, required qualification and work experience. Those details will be displayed under desirable area in the talent profile, talent career center. 네, ಅದನ್ನೇ right. In addition to that, the job description attached to this designation can be seen through this link. Likewise, the those details are taken from the job description area in the EAM module. Under this competency summary area, as I explained earlier, it shows the what are the competencies required for this designation and the actual capabilities the employees rating. The proficiency level is the expected level. Then it shows the gap. It can be either a positive gap. If it is a positive gap, it means the employee has exceeded the expected level. It shows like as a green bar. If it is a negative gap, it shows through this red bar. Likewise, the employee can get a better understanding about what are the competencies with positive and negative gaps. Likewise, then he can select particular designations which are available in the progression ladder, and he can find the competency gaps and qualification and work experience gaps. Likewise, can get a better understanding about what the progression requirement. Then under this section, career preference section, Yeah.
actual and
Yeah.
reliable.
Yeah.
Is that based on the performance evaluation cycle?
Yeah. Actually, it's a purely based on the competency comparison. In the performance assessment cycle, we update during the competency assessment. We update the employees' competencies. Then we use those ratings against the employee and the expected ratings from the proficiency profile.
Actually, is from the competency evaluation.
Yeah.
Proficiency profile, that is the expected level.
Expected level. We use this definition and do the comparison. So in the career preference section, in the first area, the interested in section, actually we extract those details from the performance management module. I think you have an idea about the performance management module. Under feedback and development plan, you can enter employees career preferences detail. So if there are any if those details are available in the performance management module, those we can extract those details and enable this section in the career center.
One more question.
Yeah.
This actual result,
Yeah.
competency,
Yeah.
the values taken from which performance cycle?
The latest one. Latest one. Right? The competency it's related to the previous discussion we had. The competencies, the employees' competencies, when we are taking the latest competency ratings from the competency library. We have separate tables called the competency library. So it gets updated based on the assessment. So when we doing the calculation, we take the latest values. Right? Then the
Shailendra,
candidate
hello.
there's no it's a read only area. Then under preferred jobs section, the employee can search other jobs and he can view the competency match up with the job. uh, as I mentioned you in the career path section, it shows jobs related to your job family. No, if you are a developer, it shows the progression path related to the developer. If you are a HR human resource, if you belong to human resource job family, it shows the jobs related to your human resource job family. But if you want to search uh, another job from another job family, you can do this search, perform this search preferred jobs option. Then you can select jobs from current job family. Once you click on this option and search, it shows the match up with those the designation belong to the required job family. If you want to select another job family and search, it's display the competency match up based on the competencies. Likewise, if you want to suppose you want to select this designation and you want to mark it as a preferred job, you can just click on it and then the table will be updated accordingly. Likewise, you can maintain preferred jobs here. This will be a input for the talent reviewer to take a decision based on your at the end of the talent assessment process. Whenever they can take a decision based on these details. Kindly show the first latest completed PME cycle for this cycle. If you want to consider creating like for use many of items of family data camp. Actually, Harsh, oh, the performance setting data cycle oh, yeah, මම එහෙම කරන්න හදුවා assessment process මෙතන තියෙන මම තේරෙන්නේ නැති මෙතන මේ performance එකේ data දෙන්නන්න ඕනද චුට්ටක් කතා කරමු right we can go ahead and with other features in the career center. I'll show you the whole cycle related to the this candidate. I'll show you the how the talent assessment is done and the talent review board, what are the features, and I'll explain the talent assessment cycle here. Actually, I mentioned that the all the details which were completed in the performance assessment are taken for this dashboard. So I'll try to explain how the talent assessment process goes. Right? Then you can maintain preferred jobs here. Then in addition to that, the candidate, the employee can specify the mobility details. If he want to change his location, he can mark that preference here, and he can add preferred workstations and dislike workstations through this pop-up. So it shows the organization hierarchy here. Then he can select required workstation and mark it as preferred or disliked location. So the reviewers can take a better understanding what is the mobility preferences of candidate using this section. Then the employee can enter long-term career goals, and we are providing a text area to enter those long-term career goals, and other comments the employee can enter any other comments related to the career preferences likewise. So basically the main objective of providing this career center is to capture the employees career preferences. This will be a input for the talent reviewer. Then he can take a better understanding about the employee's career preference and take required decisions. So these are the options available in the talent career center section. The candidate has to complete this before the cutoff date. Otherwise, the employee, the officer can't. The, the form will be frozen, so he can't do any modification. So it's a requirement that he has to complete before the talent, before the cutoff date mentioned in the when creating the talent cycle, right? So then we can go to the we have completed career center section. Then we can go to the talent assessment area, right? Actually, we use this cutoff date before because the we want to enable this assessment for the reviewers. So we put this cutoff date and we ensure that all the candidates are completed their career center details by that date. Then we can enable that uh, assessment for the reviewers. So that's why we use the cutoff date here. It's a cutoff date.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello. 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 Paresh sir, Santosh, anyone can hear me? Sailendra
Yes,
sir?
Harsh. Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
Harsh. I can hear you.
Hmm.
Hi Harsh.
Harsh.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, we can
what
hear
is
you,
your question?
Harsh.
Ask.
Yeah. So first of all, my question is, you already mentioned that in talent management, it is mandatory that we have to complete a PMS cycle, right?
Yeah.
With competency. Correct. So I just want to check the screen because on the last screen the feedback is not completed. I think so, or maybe possible the data is not fetched from PMS to talent. So can you open the PMS last stage in the for that same employee? I think so. Keith's name is there, right? I just want to check whether all the stages are completed in PMS and which stages are reflected here. Hello. Can you show me the PMS completed cycle for this? For one employee, for that the same employee.
And අරකින් එහෙම. මම හිතන්නේ අරක මේකේ ස්පීකර් එකක් තියෙනවා.
Well, Harsh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling on WhatsApp because your voice is not clear. Can you answer the phone?
Yeah, sure.
Hello. Yeah Harsh. Can you just repeat the question? Yeah. 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 You have to complete all the cycle, including the competence assessment, right? Otherwise, you can't get that the dashboard things.
Shailendra. Shailendra.
Actually, to complete the process, you have to complete the whole cycle. You have to just complete the competency and the feedback and development plan. Right. Yeah. I think you have an understanding about the performance cycle, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is the form in the performance management annual assessment, right? Uh, the feedback and everything. Yeah. Right. Actually, goal area and in the talent management process, we extract performance ratings, competency ratings, overall ratings in the talent assessment process. So you have to complete the whole cycle in the performance management module. But yeah, yeah, slowly. Yeah, right. But it extract details under this section. The right. You want to cheat? Right. Okay. Okay. I'll show you. Okay. No, no, he want to. The question is he want to know that the relevant how we he want to check what are the details taken from the performance management module. So I'll show you the key. Uh, Here we take interested in area captured under
Kasul. Kasul. Kasul Paresh here. Can we take one case study, taking one employee and processing him through all these process cycles? That will actually set the expectation right, and it will actually give more clarity on how the data is flowing, and it will be working in the system. Hello. Yes, Jana. I was asking, can you take one case study when you take one employee, process them through the entire cycle and show? Because here we are not able to understand anything. It is going here and there. We are hopping from one screen to another screen.
yeah, Harsh. Yeah,
Paresh here.
yeah.
Kushan, can we take one employee
Yeah.
and run him through the entire process and show how the data flows from one screen to another screen?
You want to know
Say
the
from EMS to the talent management. So that actually shows the entire complete linkage of the module
actually
in the process.
Paresh, what I can do is I'll as per your requirement I'll show you the now I'll continue the talent cycle process first, right? Then you can understand how the talent assessment process flow, right? Then I'll show you the integration there. right?
See, the problem is
Yeah,
the team over here
yeah.
are having a challenge because they've gone through multiple times with the performance management model.
Uh-huh,
Okay,
right,
but they have not implemented or not got trained on the talent management piece. So
right.
if you directly jump into talent management, they will not. They are struggling to understand from where the data is flowing into the talent management into the from PMS.
Right.
So I would suggest you actually take us through the PMS and then get into the talent management, saying that okay, once this is completed, it gets into the PMS over here, and from here you can then complete the talent management process.
Actually, Paresh, the thing is, there's it's like the for when it comes to data flow thing, during the talent assessment process, we can enable the talent management, the performance management integration. No, we can uh, we can disable it, right? So actually, I'll highlighted the places where the integration is available, right? Later, then at the end of this presentation, I'll show you uh, the performance relevant performance icon. Is it okay?
Uh, Gasun, I am totally agree with Paresh sir, because the thing is we just want to understand what are the proper steps. We don't want overview of talent management. Overview we can easily, I mean, already we know how it will work and what kind of functionalities it has, but we want to know what kind of data exactly are fetching from other modules, what kind of functionality we can use. Because overview we can also check from demo link, right? We can open the link and we can check what kind of functionality and what kind of data is there in the particular link.
Right. Dana? Right. Then we can continue the session and yeah, now we can start the talent assessment process. That talent assessment process, we have to log into the system as the reviewer. Then we can do the initial review. Here I have logged into the Smith. He's a reviewer, so he can view the he can access the talent assessment form. Under talent assessment, the talent assessment form. Then once he access this form, he can select the required talent cycle here. Then he can view the employees assigned to for the assessment, right? Here we have two employees, Divya and Keith. We have completed the current career center section of the Keith, so it shows the career center completeness as completed, right? So the we haven't completed the Divya's career center, so it shows the this area is pending, right? So he can the in the assessment section, the first the reviewer has to go to the detailed view of the assessment, then do the assessment, then I'll show you where in the detail area we call it as talent profile. So we selected Keith talent profile here. So it shows the overall it's actually it shows the uh, a profile including all the career center details and development plan details and other relevant areas are shown here. So in the first view it shows a overview of the profile. So there's no this read only area. So if it shows the employees if the employees was available assist during the previous talent cycles, it shows the employees performance and potential rating. It means the previous cycle the employees performance was high and the potential was high. Likewise, the employees positions are shown here. Then the development plan progress is shown here. Actually we are I'll explain you in my diagram. I'll show you the this is the development plan area. So it shows the development plan activities based on the previous cycles. So it shows the 2003 cycle, the progress related to this previous development plan cycles, and it shows the job preferences. Actually these are taken from the employee's career preference career center area. The employee can enter career preferences. From that career preferences it shows the top three preferred jobs here, and the employee's mobility details are shown here, and the current career matchup is shown here. Likewise, the career center details, a summary of the career center details are shown here. The the purpose of providing this option is then the reviewer can get a better understanding about the uh, employee's career preference detail, right? then then the reviewer can view the resume of the candidate. This is the I'll explain you that the career center, when I describe the career center, it has the resume area. So the reviewer can get an idea about the employee's resume and the development plan. Then the development plan, these are the development plan activities. We'll discuss the development plan in detail at the end of the this process. These details are taken from the development plan section, right? Then career preference section, employees career preference, detailed view of the career preference is shown here. The reviewer can view the interested areas which are taken from the performance management module, and the preferred jobs added, and the preferred mobility details and long-term career goals and other details. Then this is the section where the reviewer will update and do the assessment. Under talent assessment, it has three sections: competencies, performance and potential, and other section. uh, under talent assessment, in the competency section, I have explained you that we can assign set of competencies for the talent cycle. So once we assign competencies, those competencies are shown here. Then the reviewer can evaluate the those competencies against this candidate, right? These are the competency area, competency, and the expected rating is also shown here, and he can set the actual capability based on the employee's current achievement. Then he can view a detailed report to view the history of the particular employee competency achievement. It's a competency. It's not a competency. The competency evaluation history. So let's take the competency details evaluated against the employee, right? Then I can view the competency description here and the trend of the competency achievement within the previous cycle, right? Then if the reviewer want to specify any negative thing related to the employee, he can use this section, the successor inhibitor section. So he can mark, he can highlight if there are any negative things related to the candidate, right? Then we can go to the performance and potential area. Actually, in the performance and potential, here we select the employee's performance and potential level to support the to take a better decision. We can use uh, we can enable the performance ratings under this section. So after this, implementation engineer can create a view and extract required details from the performance cycle. So in this view, it shows the evaluation, the year and competency and final rating. As per the requirement, the implementation engineer can configure this view and enable required details under extracted from the performance cycle. It shows a graph uh, and shows the how the performance ratings are vary during the last 5 years. So it shows the performance rating here. Then based on that details, the reviewer can specify the performance and performance level of the employee. Here we can specify it's a medium, or the reviewer can specify the potential rating here, right? Then this the ratings which we entered here will decide the location of the 9-box grid. So if we put this employee as high performing and high potential employee, the employee will be displayed under critical high performance and high potential employee, right? So these details are taken from the performance management module. As per the requirement, the software implementation engineer can configure the area, right? Then in addition to in this tab, we can do additional assessment. Like the risk assessment can be done. The reviewer can mark the risk of loss. The employee, is there a risk of loss this employee? He can specify the risk of loss is high or low, medium likewise. The impact of loss can also be marked here. It means if there is if the employees left the company, what would be the impact? He can specify it here. It can be high, medium, or low. Or the reviewer can propose a job role change for this candidate if needed. Can mark here. In addition to that, there's an option called exclusion. It means suppose the even the employee has assigned to this talent cycle, the initial reviewer can decide that employee is too new to assess, or the candidate retirement date is too close. So there is no need to do talent assessment for this employee. So if so, the initial reviewer can mark it through this checkbox, and he can exclude this employee from this talent cycle. If it is tick on this checkbox, comment is mandatory. So he can specify the reason and remove the exclude the candidate from the talent cycle and complete the process. So if not, he can mark the performance and potential ratings and other risk assessment he can done, and he can attach required reference documents here and specify the overall feedback and save. This is once saved, once the initial reviewer saved this talent profile, the we can consider it as it as the complete of the initial review, right? Right. Once you save this, you have to complete all the assessment here. You can save here, right? Then in this section under the employee image, you can there is a summary, so it shows the if the particular employee has already assigned as a successor for a critical position, those critical position details are displayed here. Is a successor for Divya Sharma, and likewise the critical position details are shown here, and demographic details are shown here, and the current assignment, the designation and salary corporate title details are shown here. Based on the assessment, it shows the employee performance and potential and risk of loss and impact of loss, all the ratings here. As for an implementation engineer, he can configure the details available in this section. It's the details are taken through a view, so he can configure the view as per the requirement, and you can display the summary of the employee, right? This is once we complete this, so now we have completed the detailed assessment of the candidate, and likewise we can do this assessment for the next candidate as well. Right. uh, then we have completed the detailed assessment for these employees. Then in addition to that, we can go to the 9-box grid view and do the assessment, fine tune the assessment which we have already completed. uh, the option is there in the talent, sorry, the talent assessment summary form. You can use this option, view 9-box grid option. uh, once you click on this, it's navigate to the 9-box grid area. So here it shows the employee's location within the 9-box grid. We have rated the Keith as high performing and high potential employee. That's why he is displayed under future leader category. We have rated Divya Sharma as high performer, high potential performer, and low medium potential employee. That's why the record is here. So if needed, you can drag and drop that employee whatever the required position, and then the employees performance and potential ratings will be updated accordingly. Then we provide this option. Actually we can the reviewer can uh, compare candidates and decide the correct position. So we facilitate to do this comparison through this view. In addition to that, the reviewer can drag and drop these candidate to this comparison area and click on compare button. Then it shows the summary, the profile summary area. So based on the ratings, it shows the performance and potential ratings, risk of flux, and can do this comparison up to 5 employees. So you can view this view and can decide correct position in the 9-box grid, right? In addition to that, the reviewer can access the detailed talent profile using this link. It shows the detailed profile here. You can view the profile from this point. In addition to that, there is uh, a summary option here. The candidate summary is shown in this pop-up screen. So I think you can clear the objective of providing this 9-box grid view. The purpose is to compare and take the correct decision for the appraisees, right? Likewise, he can do this detailed assessment, and he can fine tune the assessment through this 9-box grid view, and the employee can the initial reviewer can submit the form to the next level by ticking on this checkbox and submit button, right? Up to now, sorry. Yeah. Actually, we captured cutoff date for the career center, and we capture initial review cutoff date. So we are not allowed to do the talent assessment before the cutoff date. Initial review, sorry, career center cutoff date. They have to come. Yeah. Yeah. Reviewer can submit if there is no if there is no modification for the career center. The employee can leave it as it is and continue. That is not mandatory, but we are capturing a cutoff date to ensure that the employees review it and within the by that day, right? Are there any queries related up to now? Okay. Then then he can submit the form. Once submitted, the form will be frozen, and he can do any modifications. So can submit button, right? Then now the initial reviewer has completed the assessment. The We have completed this section. Then what we can do is we can send the assessment to the review board to get the approval, right? In addition to that, the talent review board is a mandatory thing. In addition to that, we can the system has the capability to enable uh, approval for the initial assessment if needed. It's an optional thing. Actually, it's not a mandatory. So we can skip that option. So we have to complete the talent review board. So the objective is the initial assessment is done by the initial reviewer. So we want to get the approval for the initial assessment through this talent review board. To continue this process, uh, we have to schedule the talent review meeting. So this should be done by the administrative person. Once the initial review is completed, the all the reviewers completed their assessment. The admin can use this form, schedule review meeting form, to schedule the meeting. Shows the summary. You can click on new button. Then he can select the required cycle, and he can there is a filtration option is also there. You can filter based on the hierarchy if needed. Here it shows the actually we have completed the assessment. The initial reviewer was the David Smith. So it shows the initial reviewer David Smith, and he has already reviewed 2 candidates. So we can schedule the review meeting for that uh, David Smith. So suppose if there is another reviewer and he has not yet completed the assessment, it shows as under unreviewed count. So then we can send reminders for the unreviewed uh, reviewers to complete the assessment. Then we can send this reminder, and the system will generate the email alert for that unreviewed employee reviewers. Then they can we can get it completed through this reminder. Then there's a mandatory requirement is here. If there is unreviewed employees, you can't schedule the talent review meetings for them. So we have to complete that unreviewed count, and we have to it's all the reviewers should complete their review to schedule the review meeting. So you can click on this checkbox and can you specify a date here, meeting date. It can be a future date or current date. It's okay. You can set then you can select the talent review board here. Actually, in the I'll show you. We can in the before before schedule the meeting, we have to create talent review board. It's just a panel. As you can give a name here. Board. Then you can select required members for the board. So you can select required employees for the board, but there's a mandatory requirement. You have to mark the head. Will mark the David Smith as the panel head. The panel head would have the capability to update the details in the system. So we have to specify the panel head here. Then you can save here, right? Then we have created the talent review board. Then we can do the scheduling thing. The admin can go to this form and can select the evaluation and select the reviewer. And review board, right? Then it shows the content of the review board and schedule the meeting. Once schedule and notification will be generated for the panel members and panel head, then they can start the tenant review meeting. A meeting date should be greater than initially the cutoff. Actually, we have marked the cutoff date as, so we have to put a future date for the tenant review meeting. There's a conflict. Right. We have scheduled the meeting here. Then the review board can do the assessment. So I have logged into the system as Smith. We have created the panel with the Smith, and we have marked the panel. Smith has the head, so Smith can use this form to do the tenant review meeting, right? Then he can select once he log into this form. This form. Talent review nomination. This is the form you have to access to do the talent nomination. The head has to select required evaluation and go to the detail view. It shows the all the candidates based on their performance and potential rating. Then the reviewer, the panel can discuss about the ratings given for this candidate. There is another. We have only one reviewer. If we have more reviewers, we can filter. We can select required reviewer and view particular assessments. Suppose we have another reviewer and he has already assessed 3 employees. So we can select required reviewer and view relevant 3 employees. Otherwise, it shows all the employees here. So there is a filtration option. So then you can filter and discuss about the decisions made by the reviewer. Then suppose the panel decide the employee's correct position is this, you can the panel head can drag and drop this employee to the correct position. He can enter a comment here. Panel head can enter a comment here. The panel head can view the talent assessment, the detailed assessment through the talent profile, and discuss about the ratings given by the reviewer. Right? Then he can view the summary of the talent, the leadership candidate. Can the comparison option is also there. The panel can compare candidates and do the comparison. Then if then the panel can finalize the decision by ticking on this checkbox. Then once tick on this checkbox, the reviewer we consider it as final decision. So if you want to move it to another position, you can tick off this option. Likewise, the panel can panel can take the final decision and they can complete the process. Once complete, we consider this as the talent assessment is completed. Now we can get the organization talent pool based on the decision made by the panel head. So once there's a mandatory to use this button to complete this option. Then once you complete, Another thing we have to do is I have mentioned that you can exclude some employees. The reviewers can exclude some employees from the talent cycle if needed. So if there are any excluded employees, there will be a link and display these employees have been excluded. Then the if needed the panel the reviewers the, during the panel, talent review meeting, the panel head can drag and drop those employees to again talent 9 box grid and uh, consider for the assessment. If not, they can during the review board meeting they can approve the exclusion and continue. Likewise, then this is the end of the talent assessment process. Then once we completed, we can consider this complete the talent assessment cycle. Then we complete the talent assessment process. Now we have uh, the completed 9 box grid. Right? Up to now, are there any questions or inquiry? The other panel members can drag and drop the employees, but the checkbox would be enabled for the panel head. They can't finalize the decision. Yeah, the details will be updated, but the finalized the option is enabled for the panel head. Then we have another form. Suppose the panel head would is a CEO or someone a higher position holder, so he may not use this form, right? So we can enable review nomination admin form. We can enable this form to whatever admin person. We can use this form as panel head. The capabilities available enable can be enabled for the HR officer. Yeah, impersonation. Right. Once you click on the submit, you can go that. No, you can't. Before submitting the. So I mean complete. Yeah. Once you complete it, you can't. You can't. It's final. Yeah. Once it is, we consider it as a final. Assessment is completed. Then we can discuss about the succession planning area. And in the succession planning, what we do is now we have completed the assessment. In the succession planning, we have to use two forms here. Uh, there is a form to identify critical positions in the organization. It would be an administrative form. So I'll show you the functionality of this administrative form. Actually, succession planning, what we do is we identify critical positions in the organization. Then we assign the selected candidates as successor for this position. Suppose the critical position if that person is left the company, now we can replace that critical person using these successors, right? So to as the initial step, we have to identify who are the critical positions of the organization. So to identify that, we have to use critical position information form. Right? You can there's an employee search. You can search. You can use it and search required employee. Otherwise, you can use the eligibility rule. Suppose the critical these are the critical positions of this organization, like senior manager with 10 years of experience, likewise who have this qualification. Likewise, you can configure a eligibility rule and you can select that rule and view required employees and assign as the critical positions. Right? We have already selected for employees. Search. Then here it shows the detail of the critical position we selected. Then corporate title designation and cost center business unit details. Then the admin can specify the critical level of the criticality. Can be high critical, medium critical, or low critical position. If it's a medium critical, the impact of loss. What would be the impact if that employee left that left the organization? We can specify the impact of loss, the risk of loss, whether there is a risk of leaving the employee from the organization. In addition to that, required bench strength we can specify here. Required bench strength means you can plan how many employees you want to prepare for this position. You can specify that as a bench strength. Suppose for Divya, you can the admin has specified as 5 bench is required, so we can assign 5 successors for this critical position when assigning successors. So you can specify the bench strength and enter required comment here. The entering comment is mandatory, and this tab it shows the what are the comments added by the history of the comments. What does bench strength mean? Bench strength means you can specify how many employees you want to get prepare for this position. It means for this critical position backup, we are going to train 3 employees to replace this position. Like, are they all like in the similar position? More or less same. Assess the talent and all of that. No, you can, but we just specify we need 3 employees. Like, okay. Yeah. Then the later stage we assign 3 employees. Then just this capture the required amount. Right. How many employees you want to make sure you have the right to the number. Yeah, yeah. For some position you have to have more employees. Right. For some position you have to have only important role. Yeah. Then critical. Then once we save that, when we identify critical position, we can assign successors here. We have to go to the succession planning form. At that point, this is done by the administrative person. We can discuss this decision during the talent review meeting, and admin can update required details in the system. The admin can filter the position based on the criticality identified. You can use the medium critical, high critical employees. The filtration option is there. It shows the risk of loss and impact of loss this employee. Actually, under successor bench strength, the required bench strength is 2, and 2 successors have already assigned to this position. So for this position, the required bench strength is 3, so only 2 have assigned. So we can go to the detailed area and do the assignment. In this form, it shows the position details here. This is the position of that employee, and this is the incumbent of that critical position, the position holder. Then here you can assign it. You go to the edit button. Here we can use the view the latest talent pool. Right? The accuracy level is 100%. Sorry? The accuracy level. Accuracy. Yeah. This module accuracy.
So this is not a forecast, but it's actual.
Yeah. Actually, we are. It's not
Companies ask.
automated thing. Yeah, you have to.
Based on the stats what we
Yeah.
generate from performance and all of that put together, we arrive at this.
The system facilitates you to view a consolidated view of the details, and you have to take the decision. Right? Then it shows the latest talent pool here. We have completed the talent pool, so it should be loaded here the latest talent pool. Then based on that, the we can identify who would be the critical position for this, who would be the suitable successor for this critical position, right? In addition to that, there is a profile matchup option here. This is the person to position comparison, right? As I mentioned earlier, we do the competency comparison here. We take the required proficiency profile of the designation, and we compare, we search for suitable candidates. Once you click on this, let's say the document, yeah, when we search this, you can specify the talent cycle and talent group. Then suppose you want to select a person from this future leader category, then you can specify the talent cycle, and you can specify the talent group and search from this pool, right? It's like talent cycle and talent pool, future leader category. You can search, then it shows the employees based on the matchup, comparison matchup. In addition to that, the current job title, this will pick the employees from the relevant job family of the critical person.
40% is low. No?
Sorry,
40% is low in that case.
yeah, it's not
Not the
suitable.
right.
Yeah. Then other job family can select pick that person from any other job family if needed, or there is an option to select from this designation and search. However, the competency matchup is shown here. Based on that, the assignment can be done. Right? Let's say we can assign three successors. I can keep this already. So can select required employee, assign successor. Right? Then in this section, then you have already assigned to a successors, and now we have selected this one as the new successor. So, yeah, the the expectation is 3, so we have already assigned 3. You can't assign more than 3. The validation is there. In addition to that, you can specify the readiness. Suppose out of these 3 employees, you can specify what would be the readiness for the replacement, and you can give a rank for that employee. Then the admin can view the talent profile of the selected critical employee successor. In addition to, he can maintain a comment against the successor. So I have explained the search matching profile option. In addition to that, employee search option is also there. Disregarding the comparison, you can select anyone as the successor using this employee search. It's not a recommended option, just employee search, and use this search and select required employee. We have already designed these. These are the. Then we can save it. In the summary view, when you go to the summary view, you can view the successor hierarchy by clicking on this button. It shows the tree view diagram based on the critical position and the successors. This is the this is the we have identified critical positions. We plan the successors and we complete the process. So it's the end of the succession planning process, right? It's a separate thing from the talent assessment. If needed, we can use the output of the talent assessment. If needed, we can use the profile search comparison. Then the next action would be the development plan area. We identified the uh, we get the generated the organization talent pool. Based on that, you can we can plan the development of the employees. If the employees if the employee is assigned as a successor, we need to assign development activities to improve that person to replace that critical position. So we can discuss the development plan area here. So as a first step in the development plan, we have to use this admin form. As an administrator has to assign employees to the development plan area. It's not it's not mandatory to assign development plan for the all employees. So selected employees we can maintain development plans. So admin has to assign those employees to the development plan area. Then uh, then the immediate supervisor will be able to assign activities for the particular employee's development plan. Once those details are added, then the plan would be sent for the HR manager for the approval. Then once it is approved by the HR manager, the assessment cycle would end. Right? Then this it goes like a cycle. So we can discuss the admin form here. This is the admin form. Development plan information. This is where we configure the process of the development plan. So the first option is development plan review frequency. It means you can specify how often you want to review the development plan of the employee. It can be either monthly, quarterly, or biannually, annually. If we put quarterly, the alert will be generated based on this configuration. Then you can specify the length of the review period. It means how long it will allow the initial review supervisor to update their development plan. For to generate alert, we use this configuration. We can send reminders uh, to complete the assessment based on this configuration. In addition to that, overall rating method can be assigned. It's a in the performance management under rating method. In the performance management module under rating method, we define different type of rating method like this. Rating method can be a like this. This a rating method with 5 items. It has A, B, C, D likewise. So we can assign, we can select required rating method
That is defined with the
performance management rating method. It's we use this rating method to rate the progress of the development the candidate development plan progress. We can rate using this rating method.
So clients who want to go with this talent assessment, they have to purchase the performance as well.
No, it's not mandatory to purchase that module. If you want to, there's a dependency with the performance management, because we use all the graph based on the competency rating of. So if we are not using the performance management, we can provide them the admin forms from the performance management, and they don't. It's not
But they
mandatory
will
to
not
use.
see the performance.
Yeah, but they can do all the definition from that forms and use here. But we recommend them to use the both together. Otherwise, it's not gets value to them.
But we said it as two different separate modules.
So, two different modules. Then, in addition to that, we can make. There are 4 sections in the development plan area. The supervisor can enter actions under on-the-job assignments, coaching and mentoring actions, formal trainings, and other actions. Likewise, 4 sections are there. So we can assign a weightage for each section. This should the weightage will be considered to display the overall progress. Based on that, the employee's achievement will be displayed. So another thing is there. Currently, there is no integration with the T&D module. The development plan is a separate thing from the T&D module. There's no integration with the T&D module. Then we can set the weightages. The sum of the weightages should be equal to 100 by saving the record. Then you can save. Then the admin can select the employees for the development plan area. Based on the talent assessment, they can identify the weak employees or future leader successors. Then they can select required employees for the development plan area and enable the development plan for them. So there is option to add the employees to development plan. This will enable employee search. You can search what required employee. In addition to that, you can specify the talent cycle and search, and as a bulk you can assign to the development plan area. Then the next action would be review development plan. It is done by the direct supervisor of the employee. So when we enable the development plan for the employee, the direct supervisor can use this form to view their subordinates. It shows the direct subordinates here. So as I mentioned, you can filter. We are maintaining different status here. Review completed means the cycle is already completed, right? Then the immediate supervisor can add actions to particular employee's development plan that the current cycle is completed. Review pending HR means the immediate supervisor has already updated the plan, but the HR manager has not yet approved it. So we review pending from HR. Likewise, the status is shown here. We'll add actions to keep the file. Go to the details form, and here we can it shows under 4 categories, right? Under formal training, we can add actions here. As a supervisor, I can specify a target date and status can be specified. Suppose the particular employee has already completed the task, specify it as a completed. Likewise, he can update the development plan of the employee. In addition to that, the direct supervisor can profile match up with the current designation. Based on that, he can view the what are the weak competencies of the particular employee and assign activities based on that. To facilitate that option, we provide this feature. So he can view the profile matchup and add actions. Then he can go to the detail next form and provide the overall rating. This is the we have already specified the rating method. That rating items in that rating method will be loaded to this drop down. So the supervisor can rate the progression and provide a rating. And submit. Then the status would be displayed as the review pending from HR. Then the HR person has to approve the development plan of the key using this form, development plan approval form. Then he can view the review pending HR, the key status. Go to the detail view. The HR manager is not allowed to update the actions. Here he can only view the actions added by the supervisor. The approving person can go to the rating area and he can update the rating as per the achievement and enter required comments to the grid and submit. Then this will end the talent development planning reviewing process. Then we have completed this cycle. So we have completed the development planning process as well. Now we have to discuss I have skipped that some definitions are there, so I can show you that. Before moving to the definition area, we can view the dashboards provided by the system. These are the dashboard. We have 3 on-screen dashboards are there. Talent assessment analysis is one. Here it facilitates you to select a talent cycle, and you can filter relevant business unit. And you can specify the required reviewer if needed. And then it shows the you can view the talent groups here. These are the names we have given to each talent group and how many employees are there and under each category. And so it shows you can select growth employees. But once click on this, it's loaded the relevant employees to this below grid, and you can filter and view those details. In addition to that, if you want to view the high performance performing employees, you can select this option and it shows the high, medium, low, the rating values. Once you click on this high, it shows who are the high performing employees. You can select the potential option here. You can select the high potential employees based on this. Like as the assessment can be analyze further using this dashboard. In addition to that, during the assessment, I have shown you there was an option to specify job role change. The reviewer can propose a job role change for the employee. So if there are any employees who have this this option, this facility suggestions, we can view who are those employees, and we can view the excluded employees if needed during the talent assessment cycle. These are the talent assessment dashboards provided by the system. In addition to that, succession planning can be further analyzed through this dashboard. It shows the distribution of the bench strength. It means uh, how it means uh, the the level of the completion of the succession planning bench strength. It means 100% completed is 50. The bench strength, we can, I have explained you that we can specify the bench strength as a number, then you can assign successors to that position. It means the required bench strength is already completed. It shows as the 100% completed bench strength. In this point, we have two employees with 100% completed bench strength. For these employees, there is a gap. The bench strength is required is 3, but you have assigned only 2 employees. Likewise, you can analyze further the status of the bench strength. And employees with warning option is uh, for this talent assessment. It's a long-term process. So if the particular employee is transferred or particular employees resign from the company, we haven't removed that employee from the talent management area. We display that employee with a flag that this employee's HR active status has changed. Likewise, I'll show you.
They've been transferred or is that?
No, there are 3 options. Here, this it can be either designation change. This would be the previous designation, current designation, and the employment status, star active status, or a workstation change. If the employer is transferred to the workstation, we track that and display here. We are not removing that employee from this. I think this star active. If there is a change to those parameters, this flag is shown here. At this point, I can't understand what could be the reason. It can be either HR activation or he has already been activated or something like that. Then now then we can discuss the development plan analysis dashboard. Here we can business unit, right? We can filter and view the details. It shows the Zenith Group review pending HR. These are the employees who have review pending HR. The review pending supervisor status can be seen, and review completed employees can be viewed. Likewise, we can analyze the development plan status here. Then we can discuss about these definition things. In this definition, uh, what we do is I have already mentioned that we have to create the job families, and we can build the progression path of the organization. So first we have to create job families here, right? Before creating the job family, we have to create scale here. Scale means, in my sample I have shown you that we can categorize the jobs into different scale, right? In this scenario, training project lead would belong to the inexperienced job scale level. The project lead would belong to experience level, and these designations belong to high experience level. Likewise, we can maintain scales and assign jobs to those scales, right? So this scale can be in this sample where I have created scale with 3 levels, but in the product you can create uh, scale with up to 15 levels, right? So here in this sample, even I have assigned 3 levels. It can be here uh, it has 10 levels. Likewise, you can maintain create scales here. The thing is, you have to have the lower scale would have the highest scale would have the highest number, and the lower would have the lowest number. Likewise, you can maintain the scale here. Then create job families here. Create not new job family. You can specify the job family description and select the scale and enable that job family. Likewise, you can maintain HR job family, sales and marketing field job family, accountant job family. Likewise, different job families based on the client requirement you can create here. Under each job family, uh, you may have specialty areas. Suppose in the HR job family, there may be a training and development. There are some set of employees who are doing the same training and development, and some set of employees are responsible for performance management. Likewise, in each job family, we can further classify it into specialty areas, right? In this scenario, agriculture service job family, there are different specialty areas. In my sample, engineering job family, software engineering is a one specialty area, and project management is another specialty area under this job family. Then we can assign jobs to job families. Assign jobs to job family forms. Then you can select a job family here and a specialty area, and assign designations, and you can specify to which level it belongs. In my sample, like if it is a trainee project lead, it belongs to the inexperienced level. Likewise, you can build the progression hierarchy based on that. And assign jobs to job family option is that you can assign, can assign. And alternative career path option is for some job families there may be suppose if the employee become a the development lead, there is an option to change his technical uh, jobs to a project manager or like managerial job. That alternative option job family option is also there. You can mark what are the points that allows to change the job families into different area. So in my sample, we can specify development lead position. There is a option to change the job family and go to the to be a project manager. Likewise, you can mark these points through this form. You can select the job family and specialty area and the designation. Likewise, then chief engineer. When you become a chief engineer, you can move into the business application. This job, likewise, you can mark that the option here. Then when in the career center, when showing the progression part, it shows there is an option to change your job family to another alternative path. Likewise, it shows that information in the career center career path area, right? In addition to that, then you can define. It shows the 9-box grid here. You can rename the groups we have provided as by default. So you can rename whatever required as per the kind requirement, and you can maintain. Then those reports and other dashboard will be used. Those definition here. I think we have completed all the definitions here. Yeah, we have discussed all the processing areas and the definition part. In addition to that, are there any questions related to the domain or whatever talent management process? Inoka, any questions?
Team, any questions? Kushan, I think we can. I think things are understood by all. You can share this presentation with everyone. And in case of any queries, our team kindly get in touch over an email or call to discuss it.